Pirates and their fans are still keeping watch, waiting for their team to get hot and for others to falter. The Pirates remain very much alive in the wild card race and seem to have a golden opportunity with a 10-game homestand that begins tonight against the Brewers here on Root Sports.
Pirates are back home, the penultimate regular season homestand of the 2016 season. The Pirates getting ready to take on the Milwaukee Brewers, the start of a 10-game homestand, and the Pirates' push begins tonight to try and get back to the postseason. We take a look at the National League wild card standings. The Pirates still only 2.5 back of the St. Louis Cardinals, who will be in Cincinnati tonight. The Mets, you see, are 2 back. The Mets are hosting the Washington Nationals. Greg Brown, Steve Blass, Robbie and Smikowski with you. Great to be back home. And Steve, it's great to see Jameson Taillon back on the hill. He's having an outstanding rookie season, and he'll be taking on a rookie in Junior Guerra, who comes off the disabled list officially today.
Yeah, kind of an interesting matchup of 2 rookies. Guerra has been around. He's played everywhere. He's caught himself a home in Milwaukee. Very, very tough on the Pittsburgh Pirates. He is a pitcher. He doesn't overpower you, but he throws the ball where he wants to. Jameson Taillon, you want him to bounce back from a rough outing against the Brewers, but you know, everybody's going to have a rough outing. I have confidence in him coming back and doing a very, very good job against the ball club he's become somewhat familiar with.
Well, Jameson Taillon, kind of a paper move, was sent down to Bristol to make room for some pitching. September 1st, of course, yesterday, you can officially call up some extra players, and this is official. Jameson Taillon, Stephen Brault, the lefty. Chris Stewart comes off the disabled list. Adam Frazier was down in Bristol for just a short time, and Jason Rogers, the former Brewer, rejoins the Pirates. We saw him earlier this year. The Pirates and the Milwaukee Brewers getting ready to play ball, the first of a 3-game series on a Friday Night Rocks. We're taking a stand. The Pirates and the Brew Crew coming up next.
tonight. Time is growing near. PNC on a Friday night with family down here. Here we go on Friday. Let's get it done on a Friday night. Pittsburgh on Friday, it's what we do. Oh.
This one is gone. Cannonball coming.
Oh, yeah.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out.
Oh, no.
An amazing play. My goodness gracious.
Here we go on Friday. Let's get it done on Friday night. Pittsburgh on Friday. It's what we do. Yeah.
Welcome back here at PNC Park. Not too long ago, Andrew McCutchen was signing autographs. Pirate fans thrilled to see the Bucks back home. Great start to that road trip against these Brewers with a 4-game sweep, then swept at the hands of the Cubs. And now, again, the second to last regular season homestand of this 2016 season about to get underway with Jameson Taillon making his 14th Major League start.
Good to have you guys back. My
Good to be
goodness.
back.
Yeah, the euphoria and then the despair.
Yeah.
The roller coaster ride. Like
It
the
continues.
Yeah, and it's going to continue. Yeah. It's funny because when we win and the other contenders lose, everything goes upside down, and in a day it can change dramatically, and that's probably going to go down to the wire. So it's interesting. It's very stressful.
Check out the lineup for Craig Counsell's Brewers. Leading off is Jonathan Villar, 6-game hitting streak for him. Will be followed by Scooter Gennett and Ryan Braun. Hernan Perez, the cleanup hitter. Kirk Neuenhuis in center. Domingo Santana is playing right field. Orlando Arcia at short with Martin Maldonado behind the plate for Junior Guerra.
Jameson Taillon making his 14th start. Hyundai brings you his numbers. 3-3, a rough outing against the Brewers last time out, but you know, young guy, first year in the big leagues, you're allowed to have a flat start. Just the fact that everything gets more magnified this time of year. So we expect him to bounce back. The Pirates know all about Guerra, and Taillon knows all about the Brewers, so we'll see what happens.
Honda defense, David Freese had the day off on Wednesday, and he's at third. Jordy Mercer at short with Josh Harrison and Josh Bell on the right side of the Pirates infield. Polanco's in right, McCutchen in center, Marte in left, Francisco Cervelli, Pirates catcher. And he's got his backup back in Chris Stewart. There's Eric Fryer, who has been backing up Cervelli for most of the time. Stewart has been on the DL. So switch hitter Jonathan Villar leads things off. He's 1 for 6 this season against Taillon.
You mentioned he's got that 6-game hitting streak. He also has 50 stolen bases under his belt. So the running game a big deal for the Brewers. So you want to minimize that by eliminating base runners if you can.
Very late swing and a miss on that fastball. Rivers Casino tips to win.
Yeah. Taillon against the running game. They love to run, and they have run with abandon against Pirate pitching. Figure out Guerra. You've seen enough of him recently. We should know enough about him.
Good pitch there again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Taillon gets an early call. Ball might have been in off the plate a bit. Taillon has 63 strikeouts in 77 innings. The Brewers strike out more than any team in baseball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Villar has struck out the second most times in the National League behind his teammate Chris Carter. And there's one.
Nicely done as he came away from the fastball, took something off and had the speed out in front. Very nice. This is following a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and you can see the swing is very, very early, so you keep that speed off the base paths.
Craig Counsell, his first full season as a big league skipper. Scooter Gennett, 2 for 8 against Taillon. Pirates have done a good job limiting Jeanette this season. Pediatric Cancer Awareness Night. See the yellow wristbands, armbands, some ribbons as well on the uniforms. Off speed, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
We've seen a good changeup, and now we've seen the good hook. Good looking curveball thrown by Jameson here. Here's the downer. Good look at that action. And again.
Starts him off with a couple of strikeouts, these Brewers.
Yeah, he's probably thinking, yeah, he'd like to show them a little bit more than he showed them last time out. Give up 5 runs, but a nice start here this evening. Back-to-back curveballs downstairs. And you love, Greg, I need to see a win. I still cannot get over the Monday night game in Chicago. To me, that's the defining game to this point of this season. And I want to get on the other side of it. Doesn't have to be that way going forward. So I want something more defining on the positive side, but that was a tough one.
Ryan Braun takes a ball, hitting .312 and greeted with those familiar boos from the visiting. He's the visitor in this case. Line drive caught by Harrison. And 1, 2, 3. A couple of strikeouts and a line out, and we'll go to the bottom of the first. Pirates come to bat against Junior Guerra. Starting lineup. Josh Harrison will be coming to the plate. He'll be followed by Josh Bell and Andrew McCutchen, with Gregory Polanco in the cleanup spot. Starling Marte bats 5th, and David Freese. Francisco Cervelli, Jordy Mercer hits 8th, and Jameson Taillon against Junior Guerra.
Who's making his 18th start. His numbers, very impressive. 7-3, 2.93 ERA. Very, very good work against the Pirates. Opponent's batting average, very, very good against everybody. And he has pitched everywhere. Braves, Mets, White Sox, Brewers organizations. He's pitched independent ball, Mexican League, and Italy. You just wonder if he's going to be a little rusty, having spent that time on the disabled list with some elbow issues. But,
close to a month.
Yeah. Prior to that, very impressive.
Well, in fact, getting early talk about possible Rookie of the Year considerations. He is 31, but Steve gave you his travel log. Only 3 games in the big leagues prior to this season. Those 3 relief appearances with the White Sox last year. Full count.
How about the Wichita Wingnuts?
Yeah.
The independent league team that he pitched for 2 years ago in Italy.
The 2 starts this season against the Pirates. July 19th here, and the end of July in Milwaukee. Chopped to third. VR gets Harrison.
Take a look at his last 3 starts: 2 runs, no runs, and 1 run. For I don't know how you can still call him junior. 31. They do. Yeah, everybody's junior compared to me. You give him a lot of credit for hanging in there and sticking around. Starting to pay off for him. By the way, Greg, I shouldn't say defining gaming for the Pirates this year. The most painful, let me put it that way. And speaking from a fan, as I watched, the series and the games on the road, everybody really feeling bad because it wasn't only just the Cubs, it was Arrieta, it was kind of the whole ball of wax, and a lot of reasons to feel good, and it didn't happen, and it's gone. You can't do anything about it, but a win tonight would get that taste out of the mouth.
Stephen Brault on your right, Chad Kuhl the middle, and on your left, on his right, Adam Frazier. 2-1 on Josh Bell.
Airplanes are getting a little crowded on your charter trips, aren't they now? Call-ups,
yeah.
They will next trip. More lockers.
3-1, and again, Josh Bell continuing to show this pretty incredible patience in 16 big league games, 10 walks, 11 hits and 35 at bats. Drive toward left center field, deepest part of the yard, but that's gonna be caught by Braun. He got under that one too much, and that is the second out.
And might be a little indicator, that ball looked like it had a lot more carry when it left the bat, but then it kind of died in left center field, so we're wondering about how the ball carries on a given night. That one didn't have a lot of finish. Sounded like it hit it good.
In terms of home runs, Junior Guerra has given up 9, and this is his 18th start. McCutchen 1 for 7 this season against Junior Guerra. McCutchen hit his 18th home run of the season a week ago yesterday at Miller Park. He drove in all 3 runs of the 3-2 victory to open the road trip. Oh man, oh, a bullet into right center. Nice job by Nieuwenhuis to get over there in a hurry. A 2-out single for McCutchen.
Heard the crack of the bat up here. When Andrew is hot, that's a hot location up here. Up and out over the plate to right center field. Almost a personal go zone for Andrew.
Well, McCutchen aboard with 2 outs for Gregory Polanco. He was 0 for 6 against Guerra.
I'll tell you, he gave us, watching on TV, one of the great highlights this year when he hit that home run, that 3-run home run against the Cubs down the left field line. That was a pretty special part of that ball game.
Yeah, that's a hard hit ball, but Scooter Gennett there.
Not fooling anybody right now, but he gets away with it.
1 inning complete. 0-0. Perez. Take you back to Perez's last game at Miller Park, where he homered in his 2 at-bats against Taillon, giving him 3 home runs in his last 5 at-bats. After the game, Taillon talked about Perez being the Latin Babe Ruth. Of course, he is the man that hit that line drive off the back of Taillon's head on July the 19th. Ball that went into shallow left field. And a ground ball will retire Perez. And Steve, that's probably a fairly large item in the scheme of things, because I imagine that kind of, not to be funny with the play on words, but Perez could probably get inside Taillon's head.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only with the home runs, he hit a ball off my head also, but the monster home runs that he hit it in the upper deck. So yeah, you're trying to say, okay, yeah, I'm going to work him in, but that's pretty impressive work. So what you want to show him is maybe an 0 for 3 night, 0 for 4 night. Okay, all right, yeah, we can get this thing done. But it's there. You keep track of the guys that hurt you. There's no question about it. He's given up 10 home runs, 3 of them by 1 batter.
Yeah,
you remember that.
Oh, 1-1 count on Kirk Nieuwenhuis. Called strike. Oh, that's a pretty pitch there. There is Brian Gorman. He is calling the balls and strikes. Glenn Wilcott, Clint Fagan, Mark Carlson, the other umpires, with Gorman the crew chief.
And I'll tell you what we've seen so far from Jameson is a couple of good changeups, a couple of really good curveballs. You love to find the feel of those off-speed pitches early in the ball game, because if you don't, you probably stay away from them quite a bit. But so far, pretty good stuff.
Just maybe 3/4 swing by Nieuwenhuis into left, and Marte will do it again, holding another player to a single. Saw that on the road trip a couple of times. Just phenomenal. Kirk Nieuwenhuis, just a single with a soft ground ball down the line and left.
I can't believe that Nieuwenhuis isn't at second base, regardless of Marte's arm. This ball took an hour to get out there. Maybe he's just that slow. But look at Starling's not even in the picture yet.
Nieuwenhuis is not slow.
Well,
but I mean, you got to give Marte a ton of credit. He sees that ball coming in, going to put on the brakes. Fly ball to Polanco. And deep. Wow.
That ball carried.
That did. Domingo Santana sends Polanco back to the base of the wall for the second out.
I don't know whether it's just our microphones, but the crack of the bat, it sounds like these guys are making a lot of solid contact early in this game.
Watch Marte again. Watch. There's Nieuwenhuis taking off. He's not jogging. He's running hard, but Marte, bang. No assist for Marte on that play, but another reason why he's got a chance to win his second consecutive Gold Glove. He's making plays like that. Orlando Arcia in 27 games is hitting .189. There goes Nieuwenhuis, and Taillon and Bell. Bell runs him back. Now Harrison to Cervelli to apply the tag.
Nicely done by the Pirates, and a nice initial move by Taillon to set that rundown up. Well done.
As Kirk Neuenhuis took off, maybe Neuenhuis feeling like, doggone it, I should have been at second. That ball hit down the line.
There's the initial move, it stops him. It's just a matter of time. Cervelli does his job getting down there in case he's needed.
A 9-pitch inning for Taillon. And now Starling Marte, who held Neuenhuis to a single. Gets down a beautiful bunt. Put that in the back pocket. Mr. Villar will just toss it to the pitcher.
That's as good as you can do it right there. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. We're going to give you that. Go ahead and take it. That's still a pretty play when they do it.
Yeah. And when they do it, Steve, like that to perfection, you wonder, why don't they do it more often?
Yeah. It's something that you have to work on, and then you have to have confidence. You're not going to give and the stomach to say, okay, I'm not going to worry about giving up an at bat if it doesn't work. Some of these guys just cannot stand not to try to hit a home run.
Well, there has also been a very friendly competition between Marte and Villar this season in terms of the stolen bases. These two clubs have gone against each other. We've seen that competition take hold. Marte has stolen 6 of his 46 against Milwaukee in the season series. The Brewers have caught Marte twice. Jonathan Villar, they're playing third base tonight, and second in the league in the stolen base department, with Marte third. Villar has stolen 4 of 5 against the Pirates.
Go ahead, Starling. Doesn't even have to be friendly. Go ahead and get another one.
Yeah, actually,
that much closer to him.
Don't make it friendly.
Right.
Get mad.
Right.
Again, 46 steals on the year, 11 times caught for Pirates left fielder.
There they are. Not that far away from Billy.
He's popped this one up out of play.
I saw in the paper today, Billy Hamilton already is third all time in career stolen bases. Between, was it Henderson and Rickey and Lou Brock? That doesn't even sound right.
I'm not sure about that one. There's a runner taking off. Marte is caught stealing. Martin Maldonado nails him. Maldonado, perfect strike down to second. And Guerra and Marte, or rather Villar, words with Marte as he passes by the third baseman.
Took a perfect throw and he made it.
Maldonado has thrown out a little under 23% of the runners trying to steal this season.
It's not a great number. You see the ball is right to the glove. If he's got to bring that glove down from a high catching position, they don't get him.
Three and two. Oh, that ball skipped. And if it did, then you got to give Jeanette some credit. Yeah,
maybe he did. Yeah.
Often hear Steve and John and Bob talk about when the ball hits the ground first, how these infielders oftentimes bring the glove up. And a strikeout for Guerra, his first.
Yep. The short hop. Yep.
That is close. Apparently the Pirates didn't think there was enough evidence there to challenge. Cervelli bounces it foul to the left. Francisco Cervelli. 265 average. 2 outs, nobody on. We're in the second, game 1 of a 10-game homestand. Cervelli with 3 hits his last 13 at bats. Two balls, 1 strike.
So that number I talked about Billy Hamilton in his professional career?
Oh, you were correct. It is Billy Hamilton. It's just not the Billy Hamilton of the Reds. It was the Billy Hamilton that played like in the late 1800s.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so you weren't wrong.
Yeah, it was.
Cervelli hitting .206 against Brewers pitching this season. 2-2 a strike called again by Brian Gorman, who, by the way, has been behind the plate for a number of years. His dad, Tom, a longtime umpire, the late Tom Gorman. And as the Pirates celebrate the 45th anniversary of the '71 World Series season, it was on September 19th, 1971. His dad, Tom, was behind the plate when Steve Blass threw one of his 12 complete games that year against the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley Field, a 6-hitter. Tom Gorman.
Old Tom.
Yeah.
He was one of the best. I mean, he controlled a ball game. He was big. He was imposing.
And fun, too, wasn't he? At least outside the ball games.
He had a great sense of humor. He was a great after-dinner speaker. Yeah. I thought the world of Tom Gorman. I thought he was a great man, a great umpire.
Ball 4 brings up Jordy Mercer. The Pirates celebrating the '71 World Series championship team this weekend. Tomorrow night, pre-game ceremony will introduce some of the former players from that '71 season, Steve Blass and his teammates. And then Sunday afternoon, the series concludes. Stephen Brault will be on the hill for the Bucks against Chase Anderson. Trying to get back to that fall classic. And ball 1, and now time called. Maldonado wants to talk things over here with Guerra. And it is a Free Shirt Friday. And Steve, we got to give you credit. The bad part about tonight being Free Shirt Friday is that we won't get a chance to see your commercial.
That's okay.
It was the best.
That's okay. Yeah, that's okay.
It was the best. I mean, I know they worked with you in the studios, your production team, but how did you come up with the idea?
Well, the thing is, you didn't see any of the outtakes, and,
Right.
and what you got to do, you've got to put some juice into it, Greg. I saw yours.
Yeah,
You're just kind of quiet.
Yeah.
I think a little more animation on your part, and it'll not only be a better spot, you'll feel better about yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think that's important.
I wish you were there to coach me earlier then. Fouled out of play by Jordy Mercer. Here, in case you missed it, by the way, this is what Steve's talking about. Look at that, looking up, a little dance, pointing to the '71 World Series ring. I mean, that is a classic. I am going to miss that commercial.
Maybe the outtakes were better.
There it is. How about that? Now that gentleman
Wait a
enjoyed
minute,
it.
Yeah.
That was. And could we see a seeing eye single? Oh. See, what Jeanette was trying to do was get it to Arcia, who then in turn would throw to first. Not able to get the ball out of his glove, so Jordy Mercer has a hit.
Ball kind of just meandering up over top of Guerra, heading for center field. They cut it off. We've seen this on occasion, the backhand shovel. Only it was the backhand shovel and then hooked it into the ground. You know, we see this play made on occasion, and it makes you realize how difficult it is. You got to have a lot of things going for you, and they didn't get enough of them done on that one.
Jamison Tyone, 1 hit in 22 at bats. Fouls this one off into the seats. Well, he's looking for his first Major League ribby.
These are the kind of situations, just flare a ball down the right field. Like that ball took off the bat like, you know, maybe it was going to head in the correct direction. Usually don't overpower it to the gaps. Trying to get those freaky contacts. sounds like an eyewear commercial.
This is against these Brewers. Kirk Neuenhuis was playing right field back on July the 30th and threw out Jameson Taillon at first base. On a line drive to right field, Taillon was bidding for his first hit at the time. And Neuenhuis gunned to Chris Carter to retire Taillon. Shortstop will be there. A little snow cone action for Arcia, but the force at second. Pirates leave a couple and through a couple. 0-0.
And the Brewers at PNC Park. I'm Robbie. It's Mikowski. Well, before the ball game, there was a very special presentation that took place with Pirates players and their wives, and also 25 kids affected by cancer and their families. It was a very special caping ceremony, as we see Jordy Mercer demonstrating one right now. The 25 kids were presented capes by the Pirates players and their wives, as September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and today is Pediatric Cancer Awareness Day, as we saw Garrett Cole taking a nice selfie. It's a really cool thing that they did, a lot of high fives. And if you notice the players, I believe Greg Brown made a mention of it earlier, you see the players and umpires wearing the yellow wristbands. That is in support of Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and also today being Pediatric Cancer Awareness Day. So every all the umpires, coaches, and players are wearing those yellow wristbands for that great cause, and also the yellow ribbons above the hearts of all the players on both teams tonight, Greg.
For sure, Robbie. Great cause, great work on the part of the players, umpires, all involved. And they look like they had fun doing it, too. There's a bouncing ball to the shortstop, Jordy Mercer. Speaking of Super Jordy, 6-3 on the putout. Arcia retired by the Bucco shortstop. It is a crowded dugout, and you could see a couple more players being added after Indianapolis season ends Monday. Jason Rogers and Stephen Brault are back. Chung Ho Gong has started a rehab, so shouldn't be too long before we see Gong returning. Strike on Maldonado.
Need more seeds in the dugout.
Yeah. Alan Hansen was on the most recent trip toward the end. Another strike.
You love seeing Taillon pound the zone with strikes. That's one of the factors you write down. You write down his control. You want to be consistent. Talk about the running game. You talk about the matchup with Perez, and you want to contain Ryan Braun. So there's a list of things that you write down when you look at a starting pitcher and his matchups. to see.
And, you know, he does get a bit of a break. Chris Carter not in there. Bill Carter leads the league in strikeouts. He also leads the Brewers in homers. And a base hit for Maldonado. Talking about not being disrespectful here, but the facts are Arcia in 27 games is hitting 189. The rookie Maldonado before that hit 197.
This is a curveball on an 0-2 count that he has to be looking for. A really well delivered curveball, and he just ripped it into left field. If that ain't guessing, I don't know what it is. You throw that pitcher 0-2 count, you're going to get an out a lot.
Bench coach there, Pat Murphy, and the ball bunted by Guerra.
And that example of a good placed bunt, you don't always have to put it perfectly down the first baseline. Hit it toward, bunt it toward the pitcher. He's the last one to get a start toward home plate.
Pirates paying ticket service fees on all regular priced adult tickets for all remaining games this month. Save on free shirt Fridays, fireworks nights, fan jam featuring Hunter Hayes, and more. Special offer ending this Monday night at 8. Get your tickets now at pirates.com/no fees. Ball one on VR. Junior Guerra picks up his 8th sacrifice bunt. Now man in scoring position for VR. Weekly hit. Mercer. That'll do it. 9 pitches. A ground single for Maldonado. He's stranded. Bucks come to bat, bottom of the 3rd.
Sports is brought to you by Allegheny Health Network, Health for All. By Bordas & Bordas, official legal partners of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Visit bordaslaw.com. And by Day Automotive, we're gonna make your day. Let's go Bucks!
Bottom of the 3rd, top of the order. Josh Harrison against Junior Guerra. Strike.
Still got enough speed to keep you honest. The curveball that was in there, and then the fastball in on the hands off the strike zone. Guerra out of San Feliz, Venezuela. Tries the inside part of the plate again and misses.
3-1 on Jay Hay. 107 innings coming in, 35 unintentional walks.
Yeah, including 2 starts ago, 4 walks in 6 innings.
Shortstop going to scoop it. Arcia, another scoop. Nicely done on both ends.
And that had to be nicely done on both ends. Josh hustling down the line as always. On the backhand side, on the move. He makes this play look easy. Blowing a bubble while he does it. That's pretty slick. And then fortunately the ball carries far enough where it's a short hop and not that longer hop. But nicely done on both ends. Yeah, you make a pick like that while you're blowing a bubble. It's pretty impressive.
Josh Bell. Flied out to left center field in the first on a 3-1 pitch from Guerra. Got the feeling that Bell came close to hitting it, if not over that left center field wall, then at least toward that notch. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. PNC Park, September baseball.
Great month all the way around. Pennant races, division races, wild card stuff going on.
Steve, can you believe this baseball team went 20 consecutive years where, let's say with the exception of 1997, that freak show year when everything fell into place, including the fact that everyone in the division was just having a bad year. The Astros eventually won the division, but barely over 500. So basically for 20 years, when this month came around, essentially meaningless baseball other than to enjoy the games. Maybe the Pirates were playing a contender. But now we're talking 4 straight years where the Pirates are playing very meaningful baseball this month. We're scoreboard watching.
In front of a lot of people. It's great. It's great to have the intensity.
Fly ball to Braun.
And believe me, when you guys go on the road, I talk to so many baseball people, and they're passionate. They're, you know, oh, this is killing me. This is, but they care about it, and you can see it. I'll go to the grocery store, or go to the golf course or something, and they want to talk baseball.
Well, I just said the euphoria of winning 4 straight in Milwaukee. The first time a Pirates team went to Milwaukee, and this includes the years when they were the Milwaukee Braves playing at Old County Stadium. Pittsburgh team had never gone to Milwaukee and won 4 straight games in a series. And so there was a lot of excitement. There was still excitement about the Cubs games, but frustration in losing to those red hot Cubs, who won again today behind John Lester, beat the Giants.
Yeah, it was such an interesting road trip. It was, the Pirates not only beat the Brewers, but they were gaining ground and making progress and separation, and everybody gets into it.
Toward left field, Braun over, and just off the top of the wall. Inches from home run number 19, McCutchen at second with a double.
Boy, it got out of there in a hurry toward the shortest part of left center field, and he almost got it. 2 good at-bats for Andrew. A good sign for a good strong homestand. That would be huge. Gets it into that pull zone and yanked it. Wow, a foot below the home run line.
McCutchen knew it was close.
He's making the gesture, but he's not happy. He'd rather be sitting on the bench right now and the Pirates be up 1-0.
Polanco, a base hit could give him 80 RBIs.
Guerra not liking that delivery, frustrating that he got out in front and left it upstairs. Gregory gets a call.
Yeah.
It's all right.
You don't want to get behind on Junior Guerra. Get behind him, 2 strikes. He is as tough as anybody in baseball.
Did I see a crazy number when he has 2 strikes?
Yep. I'll show that to you here momentarily.
It's wild.
Yeah.
You know, pay attention to this one,
Yeah.
folks. See it.
2-1 the count. Now it's 2 strikes. Here's what Steve was talking about. Barrel Automotive League leaders. 2 strikes. Even better than Arrieta, Kershaw.
107. And it doesn't matter whether it's 1 and 2, 2 and 2, 3 and 2, any of those things that involve 2 strikes. That is crazy good.
2 and 2. And he gets him in the dirt. Second strikeout for Guerra. Remains a 0-0 affair.
All-wheel drive RAV Hybrid has performance that will make you rethink hybrid. Let's go Bucks!
Beautiful looking sky. All kinds of colors. Boy, man.
Summer departed all at once. It's gone. The pinks, the blues, great colors.
Of course, we're going to have highs in the mid-90s coming up, I think, next week.
Really? It's
Yeah,
coming back.
I believe.
Well, enjoy autumn while you can.
Looking forward to a little summer next week.
Yeah, been cool.
Scooter Gennett struck out in the first. A couple of strikes on him. Gennett, Ryan Braun, Hernan Perez, Taillon. 31 pitches, 23 of them for strikes.
That really good Taillon control.
Trying to get Gennett to chase. Again, these Brewers, all those strikeouts coming into this ball game, 1,277 strikeouts, most in baseball. The major league record one season was set 3 years ago by the Astros, and that's going to be a foul ball by maybe a few inches. Very close, but the Brewers are on pace to surpass the 2003 Astros in terms of strikeouts by the batters. And you see The base umpire Mark Carlson. It's where the ball passes over the bag.
Yep.
Two and two. Steve, I'll have to show you between innings a minor league game. I think it was last night or the night before. A right-handed hitter hits a ball off the very end of his bat, so it's a cue shot. And it goes, it's almost to the track area by the first base dugout, spinning. Harrison will get Jeanette for threes. And the batter kind of looks down, gives up. Everybody kind of look. All of a sudden, you see the ball spinning back into fair territory. The first baseman goes over, picks it up, and steps on the bag. Almost. The bat boy came over to try and grab it because it was a foul ball headed toward that first base dugout, and he sees it spinning back into fair territory.
Who wouldn't let it go? I mean, who's going to chase it? I mean, it's so obvious that it's going to stay foul.
So, it's just crazy. And you see foul balls, you never know. As Ryan Braun steps to the plate, lined out his first time up to Josh Harrison. This time to Jordy Mercer.
Efficiency, Mr. Tyone.
2 outs will bring up Hernan Perez. We're going to get to our this day in Pirates history, September 2nd, 1966. Bucks beat the Cubs 7-5, take over first place in the National League. Roberto Clemente, a 3-run homer. And that's his 2000th career hit at the time. Also gave him 101 ribbies for the year. First time over the century mark, and runs batted in. Bob Beal went 6 1/3 innings, got the win. Fergie Jenkins took the loss, and Jameson Taillon with another 9-pitch inning. Don't go anywhere. Nothing. Baseball. Neil Walker's season over and undergo back surgery, herniated disc. Clayton Kershaw out since June. Also a herniated disc, on his way to returning. Scheduled to make a rehab start this weekend before the California League season comes to an end. And the Rays' Alex Cobb makes his long-awaited return tonight. Last pitched in the Major League September of 2014. 0-0, bottom half of the fourth. Garrett Cole, he threw again today and is feeling better. He'll be returning after his 15 days are up, but there won't be any minor league game for rehab. minor league season will come to an end. Seasons. But earlier today, Ray Searage out there for the game, watching Cole throw on flat ground, and continues to be encouraged. Elbow inflammation landed him on the DL. And talking with Ray Searage. Junior Guerra was on the disabled list with right elbow inflammation himself, landed on the DL August the 8th. It was 5 days after he made a start against the Padres in San Diego, gave up 4 runs in 4 innings to suffer a 12-3 loss. So this is his first start since landing on the DL with that injury. Falls behind Marte 3-1. Marte had the bunt single in the second, then was caught stealing by Martin Maldonado. Shallow left center field, going to drop in for a base hit. Marte's going to try for second and make it. How about that? A hustling double for Marte, and Nieuwenhuis Braun kind of shocked.
And he had it right in front of him as he made the turn at first base, so he took the risk and liked his chances. As you watch it split the gap, and throw was going to be offline, so he's looking, one last look, and let's go for it. Nicely done, good judgment.
Hustling double for Marte. Now David Freese.
You might not need too much offense tonight with the way Taillon is going, but you got to get to it, and maybe this is the start of something more than a little offense. Jameson is that good so far. Oh, here's that 2-strike scenario. You got me thinking about that every time it gets to 2 strikes now. By the way, I did see that video that you showed me, the minor leaguer with it. I've never seen so much English on a ball in my life. You know, I wonder who in baseball would have taken off from home plate to run that out.
Oh, right.
I
Very few. Ball's headed toward your first base dugout.
For the dugout.
Run.
Yeah. However, the old lesson prevails. You run that and come back.
It's true.
I can't see anybody running that ball out.
David Freese would love to have a strong August, back on track. At the very least, he'd like to hit the ball on the right side if he could and move Marte. Blocked by Maldonado. Last 7 games, David Freese 3 for 18 with 9 strikeouts in those 18 at-bats.
This gets interesting now. 3-2 count.
3-2. On deck, Cervelli. Marte hustling into second with a double. And he walked him.
Second walk.
Brings up Cervelli. And tonight's Allegheny Health Network injury update. Jung Ho Kang started his rehab assignment last night with AAA Indianapolis. Played the first game of a doubleheader, playing all 7 innings. They play 7-inning doubleheaders each game. And he played third base, homered in one of his 3 at-bats. Tyler Glass now started that game for the Indians, went 5 2/3, gave up a run on 3 hits, struck out 8. Also walked 4, uncorked a wild pitch. I'm not sure whether we will see Glass now. We do know we'll see Jung Ho Kang, as pitching coach Derek Johnson is out to talk with Junior Guerra. Pirates had 2 on with 2 outs in the second, but he was able to get Jameson Taillon to bounce to the shortstop. Now 2 on, nobody out here in the 4th.
And just a random thought here. They're talking about strategy, probably, but you wonder if they go out and they're wondering if he's okay with coming off the DL with that elbow issue. I always watch a guy first start back off the disabled list.
Getting ready. There's usually plenty of arms. In this case, it's Jacob Barnes.
Big opportunity for the Pirates here in the 4th. Elbow looked all right on that one. Now, this is not a 23-year-old rookie. This is a 31-year-old rookie. A lot of pitches in his life.
0-1.
Way in at third base.
Another block. Excellent work there by Maldonado. Keep Marte at second.
Breaking ball, making contact with earth in front of home plate. Starling, he's got plenty of time to make a little move just in case it can't be found. There are situations where catchers cannot find that ball, even though it's right around home plate. They'll turn around.
Close pitch, but now it swings in Cervelli's favor. 2 balls, 1 strike on Cervelli. Now 3-1.
Yeah, and this is not a flamethrower who can just come back at 3-1 and just try to blow the ball by you. He's still got to try to make a pitch. So this is favoring Francisco very nicely. Guerra has struck out 2. We got Freese and Polanco.
Three and 2, big pitch. Got him.
There's that 2-strike factor.
Ooh, high fastball, and Cervelli went up to try and get it. Big strikeout for Guerra.
Yeah, because now he's 1 out away from facing his mound opponent, so it's still a critical at bat with Mercer, but we're not going to see any more from Guerra.
Again, going back to that idea that he's just coming off the DL, so with 70 pitches, reaches a pitch limit, and he gives way to the bullpen. We'll be back.
the Pittsburgh Pirates, and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
0-0. The Pirates are threatening here. Batting in the bottom of the 4th inning. Starling Marte hustled a single into a double. David Freese drew a walk on a 3-2 pitch after Francisco Cervelli struck out on a 3-2 pitch. Junior Guerra apparently reaches a pitch count limit, and now it is Jacob Barnes in relief of Guerra.
Limited work, 16 appearances, 17 innings, but impressive control. Just 4 walks, 18 strikeouts. So small sample of work, but well done by Jacob Barnes at this point.
Another rookie faces Jordy Mercer. Mercer trying to get that man home from second with Taillon on deck. In the dirt, ball 1.
Jordy Mercer, very hot July weather-wise, and with his batting average cooled off a little bit in August. Get him away from the ground ball here. He's hit into 11 double plays. Unless it's a well-placed ground ball.
1 ball, 1 strike. First time up, he had the infield single. Mercer had 4 hits in the series at Wrigley. Sitting on 51 runs batted in. Facing the rookie, Jacob Barnes, who spent some time on the disabled list himself with right elbow soreness. And lifted to right. Domingo Santana. And a big second out. So it'll be up to the pitcher, Jameson Taillon. Barnes originally recalled June the 2nd from their AAA club in Colorado Springs and made his major league debut the next day in Philadelphia. One of 10 relievers available for Craig Counsell. Much like the Pirates, this is a new baseball in September. Clint Hurdle talked about it before the ball game, said, you know, we play by the rules. I don't like it, but we are going to play by the rules. Don't like it, I'll call Neil Huntington and ask him how many players we can get up here, he said kiddingly. Strike on Taillon. Play with 25 men until September. You can call up these 15 players. Good cut, but 0-2.
Crowded house. I wonder if people remember back in the day when you could have 28 players in April, early in the season.
Plays off 1-2. You played then when it.
Oh yeah, yep. If you were a borderline guy, if you were
so at the end of April,
27,
you had to cut back at the end
yep,
of April.
Yep. Yep.
What the reasoning behind that was?
I don't know. I have no idea. You just wanted to be one of those 28, and then you sweated out the month.
And no sweat for Jacob Barnes. Strikes out Taillon. The Pirates leave a couple more, and they've left 6 through 4 innings.
some questions all for you. I got some questions,
Our featured band, The Common Heart, some great images from the Allegheny Health Network Supermo. More great images. Young Bucko fans on a Friday night watching the Pirates and Brewers from PNC Park, the start of a 10-game homestand, and good pitching. Junior Guerra, 3 1/3, lifted in favor of Jacob Barnes, while Jameson Taillon starts the 5th against Kirk Nieuwenhuis. Nieuwenhuis had, it turned out to be just a single, softly served inside the third base bag. Starling Marte made a great play to hold him to just one base hit. He tries to bunt, and there's a foul ball, and you could see.
Not enough English.
Yeah, but Freese and Cervelli weren't taking any chances.
That's right. That was by the way, the 40th pitch thrown by Jameson Taillon as he works here in the 5th inning. He has been very, very good. Set a little tone at the beginning of the ball game by striking out the first 2 batters he has faced. No more strikeouts, but tidy, efficient, impressive work.
Pitches by inning. 11, then 9, 9, 9, and working here in the 5th.
One fly ball out.
Here's a drive the other way. Marte back. Nice catch by Marte. He just put his head down and took off. Nieuwenhuis is figuring, I got to hit this ball somewhere else. He turns a double into a single and turns a drive to the wall and left into what looks like a routine out.
And this ball had a lot of carry.
Starling Marte makes the catch. Domingo Santana sent Gregory Polanco to the wall and right his first time. Yep.
Nothing wrong with a Friday night Marte Parte.
2-0. Might be the first 2-0 count of the night against Taillon.
Comes right back. So you can have Friday night rocks and partes.
Sure.
It all fits.
Yep. Two and two.
Nice, down and in, and tying him up. Tying him up. You see the movement. It's just not the speed. He gets it down there with that 2-seamer. You're going to get that sinking, power sinker going.
Oh, close. It's not going to call. 3 and 2.
But didn't we say last homestand that everything in the baseball season evens out?
Yep.
So you don't need a lot of this perimeter stuff.
Ground ball to Josh Bell. 2 away. Bring up Orlando Arcia. Bounced out to Jordy Mercer. Point Park University tweets about Starling Marte, the All-Star and the Gold Glover, and some fans behind him.
Yep, well deserved.
He acknowledges his fans out there by the left field loony section.
Under the direction of Admiral Ross Morgan.
Terry's got it under control.
Always. He rocks every night.
Yeah. 0-2. What was he shooting just now? Aha. Yeah, believe it or not, you can actually start thinking about getting on board for 2017 season ticket memberships. Again, you can renew your season ticket membership now and pay as we play for your postseason tickets. Instead of paying for the entire postseason up front, you'll be charged round by round as the Pirates clinch a berth in each series. But only if you renew by Wednesday. This ball's fouled off. Renew by Wednesday at 5 o'clock. So call now or go to pirates.com/2017.
That's yourself a baseball.
To the count.
Francisco Cervelli just wanting them peeled just to make sure. And by the way, Francisco Cervelli was at the fundraiser at the Clemente Museum last night on his off night, a starting catcher. I was pretty darn impressed, taking time out on his off evening to come out and commemorate the great Roberto Clemente. Nice gesture by Francisco, and it was really appreciated by a lot of people. Good to see.
Good man.
Animated, everybody just delighted to see him. Yep,
See?
Yep, it all fits. Our guys are on this. This was not orchestrated, folks. Dwayne Reeder and his staff down there, they do a great job.
Boy, Arcia becoming more difficult at bat for Taillon here. 6 pitches. There we go.
7 now.
There he goes. Pirates 2.5 back of those Cardinals. Now, don't forget the Cardinals are coming to PNC Park Monday night. First of a Monday afternoon, I should say, Labor Day special 4:05 start. Adam Wainwright against Chad Kuhl. So you're going to want to be on hand for the showdown series. The Cardinals Monday afternoon, then Tuesday and Wednesday nights. Those will be big games once again against the division rival Cardinals.
That is some serious sugar right there. A little sugar hit. That's the man to see. Blaine Boyer coming on to make his 53rd appearance. Not too many strikeouts. 50 58 innings plus 23 strikeouts. Keeps the ball in play. Opponent's hitting over 300. Barnes does his job, goes to 2/3 of an inning, gets the 2 outs, keeps it scoreless. About time we got Jameson some help here. Pitching a beauty. 2 hits and no runs for the Pirates starter to this point.
Couple of ground balls to the left side of the infield for Josh Harrison against Junior Guerra.
Greg, well, we have a moment. I just got to give a shout out to my dentist, Dr. John Haspel, and Denise and his whole crew out there. I got a crown while you were away, and the crown has a skull and crossbones imprinted on it. It does. George Moser up in Butler does a lot of the crown work, and he gave me a skull and crossbones. True Pirate for life here.
Well, you're going to have to, if not tonight, in the next couple of days, make sure we shoot that somehow.
Well, you can't get to it. I mean, you got to take my word on this one.
And the first baseman, Perez, leaning in, but arm's not long enough. Open wide, Steve. I mean, he gave you the skull and crossbone cap for a reason, the crown.
Well,
so.
it's back way.
Well, you got to see it.
Right there. Turn it over.
He's a Pirate for life. That's why they gave him the crown, the skull and crossbone.
Yeah.
It looks like that, huh?
It's not as mean. It's a friendly skull. If
it's a
you
friendly
consider
skull.
a skull.
Take your word for it.
Yeah. But thanks to George Moser and Johnny Haspel and his whole crew. They do a great job. They've taken care of our family for over 30 years.
Blaine Boyer facing Harrison, Bell, McCutchen. Still 2-2.
I'm never showing you my crown again. Never.
I haven't seen it yet. What do you mean ever? You haven't shown anyone it yet.
No respect.
I don't believe it. I do not believe it. I think this is a phony story. Ground ball. And a 6-3 put out. Well, this is the 45th anniversary of the '71 World Series, but 20 years after, going back to 1991 at Three River Stadium, a little old timers game, and Steve Blass patrolling left field. Look at that play in left center. Dave Justy delivers, and Blass going back. I mean, these are some nice plays.
Was that fun? Was that fun?
Sangy,
Tony Barderome there in the background.
And Blass.
Sangy interviewing me. That was special. That was so special. Oh, good boy! Is that fun? I'm so glad you found that.
Well, Sangy will be there tomorrow. The pregame introductions. Tony Barderome not able to make it up from Florida, but he'll be watching. We'll be thinking about a longtime Pirates trainer, one-time Pirates first baseman, current Pirates first baseman Josh Bell, 0 for 2. Lifts this one to center. And Nieuwenhuis diving try, and he makes a spectacular catch, making up for the bad break initially.
And that was one of those situations where it was a big swing and he got it on the end of the bat, so it went nowhere. So it looked to the naked eye, maybe the first step was backwards.
First couple steps went back, and then
that's a hustling catch there. In a 0-0 ball game.
Kirk Nieuwenhuis.
Good recovery. Very good recovery.
Now McCutchen 2 for 2.
By the way, another teammate that was going to be here but can't be here, David Cash. Dave Cash, great second baseman. His wife Pam is under the weather, not feeling well, and so he's not able to join us, but he'll be here in spirit. How about his job, taking over for Bill Mazeroski? That's tough shoes to step into, but it kind of continued that legacy of really outstanding second basemen that had come up through. Maz, and then Dave Cash, and the ones we've had along the way. Rennie Stennett, obviously. Johnny Ray. A lot of them. Now Josh Harrison, Neil Walker. Great parade of second basemen through this organization.
Going back to that 20-year reunion back in 1991. Willie Stargell was there for the reunion.
You see Doc Ellis, number 17, Sangy.
Nellie Briles, that was Briles in the World Series of '71, the late Nellie Briles in that reenactment.
That's a lot of body coming downstairs there. The late Nellie Briles, the hacker, Richie. I think that the Orioles were involved in that one. They were the team we played against in the Old Timers game.
Good times.
Yeah, Rick Dempsey. He
was the catcher.
Yeah.
71 and 79. A pop-up. Oh, 1, 2, 3. The Pirates retired by Blaine Boyer. And it remains 0-0.
Chevy Traverse and your Western PA Chevy dealers. And by Barrel. Visit our brand new Kia showroom in Wexford. More vehicles than ever at the very best prices. Let's go Bucks!
0-0. 6th inning here at PNC Park. Talking about the 71 reunion this weekend.
There's Bill Verdon in the sport coat. And Carolyn Robertson, and there's Ginger Briles and her daughter. Bill Verdon, so great to see him. He really had a tough stretch last winter, very, very sick. That will be one of the highlights of our reunion.
Yeah.
That really will be. Gene Alley in the background in the blue shirt. Oh, it's going to be fun.
Ooh, hit by the pitch to start. Certainly not what Tyone wanted to do with the pitcher spot due up now. Jake Elmore will pinch hit. Who's this?
Manuel de Jesus Sanguillan.
Oh, that's Sangi. You know why I didn't recognize him? He's smiling.
Oh my my goodness.
Great Sengi.
Yeah. You know, I might have him as my pregame guest Sunday afternoon. That would be fun.
What a joy he is. Manny Sanguin. Now Jake Elmore bats for the pitcher. There goes the runner, got a good jump, and that will allow the Brewers to stay out of the double play. Sengi interviewed Steve Blass, the 20-year anniversary in 1991. This is what it sounded like.
Blass here, the great center field, one of the started, the #1 started, MVP, start for the all 1971 World Series. How you feel after that great catch, Steve?
Well, I feel good. I want to just thank everybody. I want to thank you interviewing me. I want to thank my high school coach, my parents, my uncle who lives in Des Moines, Iowa, the kids I used to play with. I want to thank everybody for making this day necessary.
And Tony Bartiromo was waiting for you to say, and thank Tony Bartiromo.
I did thank him after winning a game in the World Series. I said, I want to dedicate this game to Tony Bartiromo because Ralph Salvon, the trainer for the Baltimore Orioles, gets all the national commercials, and I want to give Tony some ink. So
And you did.
And I did.
Right?
And I did. Yeah, I did.
Jonathan Villar. 2-0 count now. Second time that the Brewers have had a runner at second base. Maldonado was at second in the third after he was sacrificed there, but it was with 2 outs. Now he's there with 1 out. And a 3-0 count. That has to be a first tonight for Taillon. I don't think we've had a 3-0 count on a batter yet. He struck out VR in the first, got him to ground out in the third. Taking all the way.
He's got this challenge, and when you're pitching a gem like he is, there's always seems to be one moment, at least one moment, where you've got to work out of a jam. It's hard to run the table for 9 innings, and you're going to be challenged most times. Here he is in one of those situations right now.
And a fly ball to McCutchen. Maldonado will tag. And a reach, third base with 2 outs. Taillon comes back to get VR. Tomorrow, 7:05 game. First 20,000 fans will get a 1971 Pirates travel tumbler presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Plus, remember, you buy your tickets now and pay no fees on full price tickets. Get those tickets at pirates.com/1971. We'll try and get there early tomorrow for the pregame ceremony. '45th anniversary of the '71 World Series weekend. A lookout. Jeanette does the limbo.
By the way, got a special first pitch ceremony tomorrow night. Can't give it away. But,
can you give us a hint?
It'll be. It will be more applause than you can possibly imagine. If it's not, we're all going to be really disappointed. But it's going to be well received. It's going to be really well received.
Early ceremony, so get here as soon as you can. Yeah, the ceremony starts 6:35 or so. 2-0 count. And 2-1 on Jeanette. Also have it on our WB Mason pregame show tomorrow. Game 2 of the series. And towards center field, McCutchen back. And it's 1-0 Milwaukee. On a 2-1 pitch to Scooter Jeanette. Lines it over McCutchen's head. A double.
Upstairs, you hear it so many times, you elevate at the wrong time, and they can give it a ride with a lot of carry, and Andrew comes that close to running it down. And now Ryan Braun, and Ray Sears is going to go out and talk with Taillon and Francisco Cervelli.
That hit for Scooter Gennett, just the 10th hit this season in 52 at-bats against the Pirates. His 23rd double of the year, and a big one.
This is interesting. Ryan Braun, we know how dangerous he is, but if you work around him, then you got the Perez versus Taillon matchup that has not gone Jameson's way very often, to say the least.
Braun is now 1 for 6 against Taillon this season.
I would think that's the subject of the conversation on the mound. I'll tell you, it's an interesting decision. Do you pitch to Braun or Perez? I would have Braun on first base in a minute, just my opinion. Overall numbers. That stuff with Perez is history. I know what the track record of Ryan Braun is overall. And it might be
not getting him anything here,
yeah, maybe, yeah, if he wants to chase something, that could, you're exactly right, that could be the plan.
We gave you the numbers of Braun against Taillon. Braun hitting .294 against Pirates pitching overall this season. Perez hitting .378 against Pirates pitching.
And of course, whatever happens, we'll be able to say, well, what if, you know, those decisions have to be made before the fact. You always have to keep track of that. So watch Jared Hughes.
One count on Braun.
This looks like what's called the cautious approach.
Braun has been struggling over the past couple of weeks. .218 average his last 15 games. Strike.
Nicely done as he takes all the speed off his breaking ball. That's still to me the Taillon trademark, that really good curveball. And that ball is right in the middle of the plate. He just fooled Ryan Braun. Goes back to the heat.
Still a Brewer. Speculation that they would be able to move him by the deadline. But, still a lot of money to be paid. Pop-up Bell over.
Boy, if they got rid of Ryan Braun, would that not take, you know, in the bigger sense for Milwaukee fans and the franchise, that would take their biggest name out of this ball club.
Signed through 2020 with a club option for 2021. But no secret, they are definitely involved in a retooling process, these Brewers. So if they could deal Braun and get some talent in return for the franchise's sake. Strike three call. Braun says that was outside. Yep, it was. Ryan Gorman brings him up.
earlier, we showed you the pregame taping ceremony in honor of Childhood Cancer Day. Well, Nick Leyva, Chris Stewart, Tony Watson were amongst a bunch of Pirates, Jared Hughes another, who volunteered to have their heads shaved as part of the ceremony tonight, pregame ceremony, part of the celebration of Childhood Cancer Day, of Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. They volunteered to have their head shaved as part of the St. Baldrick's deal that they partnered up with tonight. This year, nearly 45,000 people have gone bald for the cause, including Chris Stewart, Yuki Rojas, and a bunch of the gang. Starling Marte and him posed for a nice photo, and I asked Chris Stewart about it. He said he cannot remember the last time he had his head shaved. He said, hey, if we could all use our platform for a cause to raise awareness, we are more than happy to do it. So pretty cool gesture by all these guys getting their heads shaved with the St. Baldrick's Foundation to honor kids who are dealing with cancer as part of Childhood Cancer Day.
And Nick Leyva, one of those members of the Pirates, will now be cited on hand before the ball game.
Serious
to participate. Yeah. Gregory Polanco leads off against Jan Marinez. Down a run now.
His numbers coming in, appearance number 34. 4 home runs, in case you're thinking along those lines. Polanco is certainly capable. He's at 21. He is having himself one fine season, Mr. Gregory Polanco.
There's Jared Hughes, the new look. No more hair.
I'll tell you, that's clean work.
Yeah.
There's no tufts or bunches around there.
Ball, 1 strike on Polanco. Marinez last pitched against these Pirates on Sunday. Was 1 2/3 scoreless, though he hit a couple batters and walked a man. He pitched in 3 of the 4 games. He was the workhorse of that series in Milwaukee. Polanco rolls it to the right side. 1 down in the bottom of the 6th. So Polanco 0 for 3. Pirates with 5 hits. 2 of them from Andrew McCutchen, 2 of them from this man, Starling Marte, a bunt single in the 2nd, and then was caught stealing and doubled to lead off the 4th. Pirates had 2 on with nobody out in the 4th inning. After the Marte double, David Freese walked, but Junior Guerra able to strike out Francisco Cervelli, and the reliever Jacob Barnes got Jordy Mercer and Jameson Taillon to end the threat. Meantime, the Reds have tied their game. And Cincinnati scoring twice in the bottom of the 6th against the Cardinals. Cleveland leading Miami 6-0 in the 6th, that interleague game at Progressive Field in Cleveland. And the Mets losing to the Nationals 2-1 in the 6th. So
opportunities abound.
Wild card scores all going in the Pirates' favor except this one here.
That change in a minute.
Weekly hit to 2nd. 2 ground balls. Jan Marinez, who was acquired from Tampa Bay in May. Updated wild card standings. Giants even lost to the Cubs at Wrigley.
Through the fence.
Whoops. strikes.
Okay, David Freese has lost more bats this year. High anxiety for a moment while that thing's in flight. Everybody will take a moment to catch their breath.
Man, fortunate. David Freese.
He's concerned.
One and one. And a foul ball. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes on Freese. Pirates start the second to last homestand with a record of 34-30 this year in their home ballpark. Well, the Brewers have the worst road record in baseball. And the Pirates go down in order. 9 straight retired by Brewers pitchers. 1-0 Milwaukee. Pirates baseball this week. Pirates fans take up painting at the ballpark. Plus Sean Rodriguez mic'd up for a musical pregame and much more. Inside Pirates baseball presented by Allegheny Health Network debuts tonight after postgame on Root Sports. On the UPMC scoreboard, 1-0 Brewers. Start of the 7th inning. There you see that score in Cincinnati. The Reds scored twice in the 6th against the Cardinals. Felipe Rivero takes over for Jameson Taillon. Taillon gives up 1 run on 3 hits, did not walk a man.
Very excellent start. 63 appearances covering 65 innings, 76 strikeouts. Name of the game for Felipe Rivero. A lot of baseball to be played in a 1-0 game. Going into 7th. Good marks for the Pirates starter. So marks for the offense to this point.
Kirk Nieuwenhuis singled, and then the ball, the warning track in the 5th. Carlos Torres loosens in the bullpen for Milwaukee. Three 0 the count on Hernan Perez.
Torres has recorded 2 saves.
Oh boy, 4-pitch walk. Nieuwenhuis will bat. Nieuwenhuis a home run earlier this week. Helped beat the St. Louis Cardinals.
Shows him a nice breaking ball to get out in front. Nieuwenhuis knows it's a lot of heat in his back pocket, but the curveball is effective to start things out. Here's the heat at 95.
Takes off. A stolen base for Perez. His 27th of the year.
We were talking about that early in the game. This is part of their game. Stolen bases. Quick look back and beats the tag. Very close. Are we going to look at that? No, look at
that. Rivero takes care of Nieuwenhuis for the first out. That steal by Perez, his 27th, and as Steve was saying, it is part of their game, especially against the Pirates. The 22nd stolen base this season by Brewers base runners. Kirk Nieuwenhuis, who was caught stealing in the 2nd, was only the 2nd Brewers base runner to be nabbed by the Pirates. 22 out of 24. Domingo Santana 0 for 2.
Well, you got a man on second, the Brewers do, but Rivero has the capacity to strike everybody out. He's got that kind of stuff, so you look more for the power guys to just put people away rather than allow the ball to be put in play where anything can happen. You strike somebody out, nobody moves. Thank you very much.
He'll take it back to back. Strikes out Santana after the walk to start this 7th inning and the steal. Back-to-back Ks. Live arm of Felipe Rivero. Harrison takes care of Orlando Arcia. Still down a run, 7th inning stretch here at PNC Park, 1-0 Milwaukee. Pittsburgh on a Friday. It's what we do. 1-0 Brewers lead on this Friday. First of 3 with the Brewers to start this 10-game homestand. The showdown against the Cardinals starts this Monday, Labor Day afternoon. Right now the Cardinals and Reds tied at 2. Carlos Torres takes over as Craig Counsell going to use up this 10-man bullpen, making this the 5th reliever already.
7 home runs given up by Carlos Torres. All we need is one swing of the bat, add to that total, and get us back to square one. Get a restart.
Bouncing ball, and that's a fair ball. Oh. And out at first base is Cervelli, as somehow Hernan Perez makes the play to Torres.
What a play he made. That ball had all kind of English. He had to go a long way. Now he's flat on the ground and finds a way to get it to Torres.
Wow.
That is as good a play as you're going to see by a first baseman.
He can't believe it himself. Look at that, ball's way behind him.
Look, and then,
man,
I mean, that's as good as you're going to see. That's not on the highlight films. That is legit.
Wow.
That was all necessary to make that play happen. 1-0 ball game. Wow.
Hernan Perez has become their super utility player. And that is a super, super play. This Brewers team has committed the most errors in the league, 111.
Look at all that stuff you put together. I mean, on the negative, the most strikeouts, they've struck out the most times. I mean, a lot of Perez has found all kind of ways to hurt the Pirates.
Oh, 2 on Mercer. He's reached on an infield hit and flied to right. This one the other way. Matt Joyce will pinch hit. Kids Day at PNC Park this Sunday, 1:35 Pirates Brewers. All kids 14 and younger receive a flat bill snapback cap presented by PPG. Plus, buy your tickets now and pay no fees on full price tickets. Go to pirates.com. 1971 anniversary weekend, the free shirt Friday, the youngsters receiving along with the adults the 71 style t-shirts. Matt Joyce bats for Rivero. You see the shift for Joyce, 3 infielders on the right side.
Now, you always like to see your power guys for those 3-1, 2-0 counts. They're the guys that can look for a pitch when they're ahead, have the advantage in a bat like this, and just lay on something. Good looking 71 Pirate hat on. He's looking for the long ball.
2-1 didn't want to, and Joyce is checking in with Brian Gorman to see if he actually offered it a strike.
Very, very close. It was kind of a pitcher's pitch, like a cutter. Got a piece of that inside corner.
Carlos Torres signed as a free agent early April. Josh Harrison would be next. 11 straight Pirates have been retired since Junior Guerra struck out Cervelli with runners at first and second and no one out in the fourth. That was the last batter he faced, 70 pitches. And that's when Counsell started to go to this bullpen. Jacob Barnes, the last 2 outs of the fourth. Blaine Boyer, a 1-2-3 fifth. Jan Marinez, a 1-2-3 sixth. And Torres retires the first 2 here in the 7th. Three and 2 the count. It was Jeff Livesey, assistant hitting coach.
Not seeing too much from his guys tonight.
And it's still 3 and 2 on Joyce, battling Torres.
He's not going to see another changeup because Torres tried to throw him one and bounced it about 3 feet in front of home plate. Jeff Branson there with Ray Searage.
Another foul. Stays full. Starling Marte homered off Torres last week in Milwaukee. And heck of an at bat, 9-pitch plate appearance, and the walk is drawn. The Pirates have a man aboard with 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning.
We have a runner for Matt Joyce.
Alan Hansen going to pinch run. Hansen's second stint with the Bucks.
He has the kind of speed that can get you even in this ball game if Josh is able to catch a gap or down in one of the corners. 2 outs, he'll be off with contact, and he can move. He can also steal a base.
The best move yet for Torres. Ball, no strikes, and there's a better move.
Play by the shortstop.
Great play indeed by Arcia to make sure he gets the throw and gets a tag on Hansen. And that apparently will end the bottom of the 7th. 1-0 Milwaukee. Rookie Alan Hansen, who was just picked off and caught stealing in a 1-0 ball game in the 7th for the final out. Hansen among the league leaders in the International League this year with 36 steals.
Makes his move, and the throw is not a good one by the first baseman, but Arcia takes it low and stays with that play, and once he makes the catch, it becomes pretty easy at second base. But he's on the move, and got to reach down when you're on the move. Keep track of everything, and he did. Antonio Bastardo takes over to work here in the top of the 8th inning. Still 1-0 Milwaukee. Rivero scoreless inning, a walk and 2 strikeouts. Maldonado swings right on through that one. Antonio has given up 9 home runs. It's a big number, but 54 innings, 56 strikeouts.
A couple of strikes on Maldonado.
And a couple perfectas. Didn't like it, but Brian Gorman does. Bastardo does.
Oh, 2. Brewers are trying to win on the road for a second straight time. Yes, he did, and Maldonado figures he can't buy a break. Didn't like Brian Gorman's calls behind home plate, and then on the appeal, first base umpire Quinn Wolcott brings him up.
Said he went. Chased a pitch up out of the strike zone. You be the umpire. You can bring him up too.
Chris Carter pinch hitting. 30 home runs for Carter.
Very much that strikeout candidate you talked about. Just 170 so far.
Nolan Arenado and Chris Bryant with 36 home runs to lead the league. Then Carter. We mentioned that the Brewers are trying to win their second straight game on the road after losing 7 in a row away from Miller Park. And back to their most recent road trip. Just gets under that one. High fly ball. Plenty of time for Marte.
Good job.
2 outs. And top of the order, Jonathan Villar. Here is a question. Love to see an all alumni old timers game like the Yankees do. Point Park University tweet. Well, it used to be an annual thing.
Remember Upper Deck used to do it?
Yeah.
Yep. And they were fun. I mean,
Yeah.
It's a party. It's a reunion. You go out and play, and none of the pitchers want to pitch anymore.
Yeah.
You want to play positions.
Yep.
But it's a long run back out to left field and back, so that becomes a factor. But they were a lot of fun. Greg, I had a memento. It might have been from that '91 game. That was kind of a bronzed. You might have mentioned a statuette that had a clock on it. Had a little
Yep.
little place for baseball, like a like a candle would be, where you could put the baseball. Really a beautiful piece.
Every year there's a nice memento. There was the rocking chair.
Yep, got one of those.
Gene Alley seated now in that blue shirt.
One of the most underrated shortstops you're going to hear about. We used to be accused of walking people just to set up the double play with Maz and Alley. And
Bill Verdon again, his wife Shirley.
Yep. And Carolyn Robertson.
Imagine Gene Alley probably likes the way Jordy Mercer plays shortstop.
Yep. Similar kind of approaches of, kind of understated, but getting the job done. Not a lot of fireworks and everything, but that's what you want. You want them to make the plays they're supposed to make. And Mercer, Alley, yep.
I've got Cervelli.
On a day's work. Well, we got a moment too. Want to say hello to 90 folks out in the bow tie bar area from the Advantage Care Rehabilitation Group. Bill Henry, a great friend of mine, golfing buddy, and a partner of the late great Phil Repepe, a friend of all of us who passed away recently. Bill and Phil ran that Advantage Care rehab outfit, and just really solid people, great Pirate fans.
Two and two. There's the skull bar Steve's talking about. Out that way.
I'm sorry, not the bow tie anymore. Okay, the skull bar.
Two and two, 2 outs. Nobody on.
I'm not around bars a lot, so I lose track of the names.
Understand.
Don't need that in my life.
3 and 2. And a 2-out walk. Puts VR aboard.
You know he's going. They've got nothing to lose. Not much happening. 2 outs.
Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in the game. Brought to you by Miller Lite. Jeanette, the only RBI of this ball game after Martin Maldonado led off the 6th inning and was barely hit by a pitch. Jameson Taillon with 2 outs. Jeanette doubled over Andrew McCutcheon's head to score Maldonado, the game's only run. Taking in the action out in left field. Different angles, different looks. Hoping the Pirates can put something together. 2 more shots, but Bastardo needs to keep this a 1-run deficit with hits at a premium. Jeanette's double, one of only 3 hits for the Brewers. Brewers have lost 14 of their last 19 games on the road.
It's one of the things you can do to bother a potential base stealer. They get very antsy when you hold that set position. That's one of about 4 or 5 things you can do to work against the running game. It is such a challenge when you've got a guy that you know wants to steal, is good at it, to direct your attention over to him, to keep track of him, and then quickly throw the switch and get your attention back to the batter. It's not the easiest thing to do.
Now out in front of Jeanette.
Yep, and Antonio doing a good job of keeping track of VR and the man at the plate.
Jeanette had been, when he came to the big leagues, strictly a platoon second baseman. Did not have many at-bats against lefty pitchers. But this year, Craig Counsell has him playing almost every game. And now 2-2. Ryan Braun, the on-deck hitter. There he goes. And uncontested. VR with his 51st stolen base.
Hopefully it's not a big 90 feet for the Brewers. And now Francisco will go out and make sure they're all squared away and signs. And what they want to try next is VR picks the right time to go.
Sorry, Steve. Yep. You see again that the Pirates use their first baseman off the bag, hoping to create a little bit of different look for these base stealers, but for VR, once Mastardo went toward the plate, it was a no contest. Three and two. And a fly ball to Polanco. Two more shots, down one to the Milwaukee Brewers.
Bank of America. Life's better when we're connected. By Kenny Ross, Total Confidence Pricing. And by Levin Mattress, the official furniture and mattress supplier to the Pittsburgh Pirates. For the best quality, service, and value, shop Levin's. Let's go Bucks!
Milwaukee Brewers have one road shutout this season. It's against the Washington Nationals. Before the All-Star break, they're 6 outs away from picking up their second. The Pirates, however, will have Josh Harrison, Josh Bell, and Andrew McCutchen coming to the plate against Corey Knebel.
See his numbers there, 22 appearances. He's been up and down a couple times from AAA, a couple of home runs. Starts with a base runner.
And it starts with a base hit to right for Harrison.
Nice job going the opposite field. On base. It is so hard to run the table after a starter gets knocked out early. The Pirates have made a lifestyle out of it as you watch Josh go downstairs and deliver that base hit to get things going. It is tough to do, and the Pirates, an excellent start here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And they're where they want to be in the lineup, obviously. The off-man reaches. Here comes Eagle Eye, Josh Bell. I said Eagle Eye.
Bell has flied out 3 times. Last time up, Kirk Neuenhuis came way in from center field after breaking back on a ball hit by Bell. Made a fabulous diving catch. Hernan Perez earlier made a great diving play at first on a ball hit by Cervelli.
96 miles an hour.
Interesting to see VR in on the grass at third base. I don't think there's any way the Pirates would ever think about bunting Bell. And Bell, he's shown early on here that he is excellent at going the other way.
Yeah, not much reaction time if he stings one that way. It's amazing. The Pirates have done nothing. One swing of the bat can take this baseball game away from the Brewers. One swing of the bat right here.
Josh Bell's already had some big ABs in his young minor league career, and the ball gets away. Harrison might be able to go beyond second. He will. Harrison motoring to third. The throw. He is out at third base. Josh Harrison figured he could make third on the ball that skipped past Perez. VR clipped. He'll be fine as he is tagged, has just tagged Harrison out for the first out here in the 8th. Pirates are going to just look at it.
There's the beginning. And you know Josh is going to be aggressive. You know he's going to be aggressive as they chase it down.
Well, there's Perez again making a fabulous play.
VR takes the shot.
Trying to jar the ball loose. Credit VR for hanging on.
Yep, and as much as you love Josh being aggressive, that's that first out at third base. And it took a spectacular throw to get him. It really did, and they made it.
Knebel will get the error, but the put out again, a great play by Perez to make that long throw to VR.
A little microcosm once again of euphoria followed by a letdown.
Tapper back to Knebel. 2 outs. Nobody on here in the bottom of the 8th inning. We take you back to a game against these Brewers last year, September 10th, and it was Corey Knebel. Andrew McCutchen hit the game-tying home run in the 8th inning, September 10th last year.
Mentioned that he's given up 2 so far this year.
On a strike there in the bottom of the 8th inning, and Cincinnati Cardinals Reds still tied at 2. Cleveland leading the Marlins 6-2, bottom of the 8th inning in Cleveland. Washington leads the Mets in the 8th, 2-1. Bouncing ball and a seeing eye single, even though the stop is made by Jeanette. 3rd hit of the game for Andrew McCutchen. He's aboard with 2 outs for Gregory Polanco.
Those Reds, by the way, in the bottom of the 7th inning had the bases loaded with 1 out, but did not take the lead. Said 2-2 still.
Juan Nicasio, presumably, if Pirates are still down. Tony Watson. They pick up a run here.
At least they're not. The Brewers will keep track of Andrew. Just 6 steals, 13 attempts.
Randall Grichuk hit a 2-run homer off Knebel the other day in Milwaukee. 8th inning 2-run shot. Another pick. One ball, one strike. The Brewers just got done playing their series against the Cardinals, and again Randall Grichuk in the 8th inning had a 2-run homer off Knebel. You should miss that. Mentioned the game on Monday night. Cardinals and the Brewers. That went 9-inning ball game. Cardinals won that one 6-5. But here's the Bucks and the Brewers, and Gregory Polanco facing Knebel. And a fly ball to center field and left center, and it's Braun who makes the catch. So we'll head to the 9th. Still down 1. Nelson on the mound for Milwaukee. Join us starting at 6. A special 1-hour Pirates pregame presented by W.B. Mason, celebrating the 45th anniversary of the 1971 World Series champion Pirates. Nova pitched an outstanding game his last time out. 75 pitches, 6 innings of 3-hit ball, and a 3-1 victory over the Brewers on Sunday. Left with some hamstring discomfort, but he says he is ready to go. Says he's fine. Talked to him today, and he will face off against Jimmy Nelson tomorrow night. The Pirates trail by 1, and Juan Nicasio will be facing Ryan Braun to start this 9th inning. Braun 0 for 3. Everybody's got a different type of ice cream container there. Sugar cone, the helmet, the waffle cone. Braun hearing it from the crowd. Tyler Thornburg loosens in the bullpen, getting ready to close it out, or tried to anyway, for Milwaukee. Braun lined out against Tyone to second in the 1st inning, bounced out in the 4th, struck out looking in the 6th. Two and one. Two and two. Nicasio facing these Brewers. 6th time this year. Pitched 3 scoreless on Saturday in Milwaukee.
Greg, is it me or is McCutchen playing him really cheap at center field for what he can do? I mean, maybe not especially.
Definitely
shallow.
A different, depth that McCutchen has played compared to years past. That's for sure. But I don't think the ball is traveling. Now, of course, anything could change. But tonight there have been some balls that off the bat you think might be hit deeper. In fact, to the point where a guy like Kirk Neuenhuis took a step back. Had to make that recovery on the Josh Bell fly ball. Big swing. One ball that did was hit over McCutchen's head was in the 6th inning. Scooter Gennett lined the double over the Pirates center fielder's head that scored the game's only run. Martin Maldonado had been hit by a pitch. Look at the room in left center for Braun. Doesn't matter when you strike him out.
Got him to chase something nowhere near the strike zone. I wonder what Ryan Braun was looking for there. Not that. Not what he received.
Nicasio picked up his 2nd win this season against these Brewers as a starter. That's hit hard the other way. Dropped by Polanco for a 2-base error. Perez into 2nd.
Yeah, that's the only way you can score it. He got over there. Ball was slicing a little bit, but he was there and just off the end of the glove. And you don't want any more of a challenge than you have right now with 1-0.
Shot from the Allegheny Health Network Supermo.
Intentional walk. Santana hit a ball that carried well to right field, but that's the only one that really had a lot of extra distance or perception of that. It's caught down in the right field corner.
They face Domingo Santana as Nieuwenhuis will reach for a second time tonight. Santana 0 for 3. Felipe Rivero struck him out in the 7th. His first at bat was similar to the ball that Perez just hit in the 2nd inning. Polanco went back toward the wall near the corner, made the catch. Now this error on Polanco on the intentional walk has 2 on, 1 out. Starling Marte will lead off the bottom of the 9th. Santana thought that was low and just clipped the bottom part of the zone. Jammed him. Roller. Mercer. Harrison. Bell. Safe at first. Francisco Cervelli right away turns to his dugout and says, check the replay.
Clint Hurdle had his hand out to call a halt, at least initially in the action. And we're going to see what they see. So close. Maybe a closer look. Yep. Safe enough.
So it's 1st and 3rd for Orlando Arcia. Arcia has grounded out twice and struck out. The game be in the balance right here.
You want the high alert for Francisco Cervelli. The 3rd. Don't want anything getting behind him.
Runner takes off. The Pirates will let him go to 2nd. Here's another look at that would-be double play ball. Nicasio watching. It's 1 and watching and close.
Not getting the call he wanted. There's the block. Well done by Francisco.
That will load them up for Martin Maldonado. Maldonado has scored the only run of this ball game. Ray Searage will come out.
Phones are ringing.
Kelvin Marte, and let's be completely frank about this. If we see Kelvin Marte in this inning, good chance this one is over. I mean, it's down to this.
Yeah.
Marte's up there just in case this inning starts to get out of hand.
Yeah, damage control if needed.
They do not have a left-handed pinch hitter available. They've got in the hole the switch hitter VR, and then Scooter Gennett, a left-handed hitter. And a strike is called.
Minimal hit total for the Brewers. You don't want to add on to that right now. You want this third out.
Couple of strikes.
Couple of good ones too. Picking up the inside corner twice. Good looking pitches. Trying to see if he wanted to wave at one. He did not.
One ball, two strikes on Maldonado with the bases loaded, down one, 2 outs.
Everybody wanted it, but it did miss.
And he was right. Brian Gorman got it right.
Here's the evidence.
Outside the window. Two and two. Count stays 2-2 on Maldonado. 96 miles an hour from Nicasio. In the rotation at the start of the year, now a member of the bullpen. And on deck, one of the right-handed hitters, Manny Pena, backup catcher. The extra men that are available. Already seen Jake Elmore and Chris Carter pinch hit. Keon Broxton getting the night off. Roller to the shortstop. Mercer will throw on to first. That'll do it. Down one measly run. A couple will make it a walk-off. Friday Night Rocks in Pittsburgh. The ninth inning. Pirates' last opportunity. Try and take advantage of the Marlins losing. The Reds and Cardinals are tied at 2. And the Mets lost, or are losing rather, in the ninth inning 4-1.
Charlie Marte will get it going. He'll have to get it going against Tyler Thornburg. 6 saves for the Brewers. His numbers, a couple of operative things to look at. 5 home runs given up. Also 56 innings, 74 strikeouts.
Taking over the closer's role for Jeremy Jeffress. Traded to the Rangers. Strike 1 on Marte.
Not the best off-speed pitch ever delivered.
Just a little high. Pirates handed Tyler Thornburg one of his losses this year, a walk-off 3-2 victory here, July the 19th, when Josh Harrison led off the bottom of the ninth inning with a triple and scored on an errant throw by Scooter Gennett.
Doc Pickens said it last inning. It starts with a base runner. Big pitch right here. Will be delivered shortly. Josh is optimistic, but he always is.
Marte 0 for 5 against Thornburg.
Chasing that wide one, a lot of speed off that outside corner.
Oh, a fly ball. And the right fielder, Santana, one down. Have to believe. David Freese, a couple of strikeouts and a walk. .95 in on him.
Behind on that one.
Last 25 appearances, Tyler Thornburg's ERA is 0.34.
Tries to get a little extra on the fastball. He does that, but this is high.
Checks.
Right in that 50-50 range.
So still 3-2 on Freese.
Trying to catch up with the heat.
Still 3-2. 96 to David Freese. Francisco Cervelli on deck. Just missed a bit low.
Good take.
Working that one against Thornburg. Thornburg pitched on Wednesday against the Cardinals and picked up his 6th save with a perfect 9th inning. This is first save chance this year against the Pirates. Now Adam Frazier will pinch run. The Pirates have had 2 men caught stealing this ball game. Does that deter them from attempting to get Frazier to second?
I don't think so. He's got a big lead.
Fly ball. Shortstop, Arcia. It's up to Jordy Mercer now with 2 outs. Cervelli pops the pitch up. Oh no.
Gets it far enough in on him. Frazier had a pretty good lead. I wonder if the urgency increases to get to second base. Almost got a piece of him. Almost. But not quite.
Thornburg has walked 20 batters now in 56 innings. To right field, and this is going to do it. The Brewers win the first game of this 10-game homestand, shutting out the Pirates. It's their second 1-0 road shutout of the year, as they did it in July to the Washington Nationals. Scooter Gennett's double, the lone RBI of this ball game.
The Pirates do not score. 3 hits. Tells the story. 3 hits, no runs. Simple as that. Pirate pitchers throw a 3-hitter and get beat.
Junior Guerra and 6 relievers blank the Bucks, who are shut out at home for a 3rd time this season. And let's go out to Robin Teak.
Greg and Steve, thanks very much. And Teak, we keep waiting for this team to get on a roll. We talked about it in the pregame show. Just when things seem to be set up for them, you win the 4 in Milwaukee, then you lose 3 in Chicago. Now you've given it all back by losing 1 here at home.
And the worst part about the whole thing is you gave away an excellent pitching performance by Jameson Taillon. He went out there and did everything you want your starting pitcher to do when you're in a position where you need to put some wins together. He did everything, just not any offensive support whatsoever.
Just like we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And it's the lack of offense, and maybe give some credit to the Brewers bullpen as well. Jacob Barnes came in. He cleaned things up in the 4th inning for Guerra. And then it was Blaine Boyer pitching his scoreless inning. That was followed by John Martinez and Carlos Torres, as those 4 relievers combined to throw 3 1/3 hitless at the Pirates batters. Corey Knebel pitched the 8th. Tyler Thornburg gets the save in the 9th, all in support of Guerra. That bullpen comes out, Teak, and throws 5 1/3 scoreless innings, and the Pirates really couldn't do anything. They got a couple hits off Knebel, but basically could not do anything against that Brewers bullpen.
Yeah, it just didn't generate any offense all night long. In fact, I just made a note here. Runners left in scoring position with 2 outs tonight. There were 3 all night long. Gregory Polanco left 1. Jameson Taillon left 2. So, when your pitcher's up there, the majority of the time when you got a man in scoring position and 2 outs, you're not having a very good night.
Tough one for the Pirates, who came home off the 3-game sweep in Chicago, looking to get things going on this 10-game homestand. Doesn't happen in Game 1 as they lose 1-0 to the Brewers. Coming up, we'll have highlights from this game. You're going to hear from manager Clint Hurdle, others inside the Pirates clubhouse, highlights from around the league, a look at the updated standings as well when Teak and I return. Coming up next.